Hello, it's Rever here, and I wanted to ask some of my regular viewers in particular, but obviously anybody's welcome to comment or do whatever, if you guys would like to see me play Hearts of Iron 4. And in addition to that, I would just, welcome any other suggestions as towards, which direction you would like to see things go. I don't really plan on changing anything too much. I'm reasonably happy with the way things are going, but because this has been suggested a couple times, I thought, well, let me go ahead and just ask you guys. I don't particularly want to change things. I'm happy with the way they are. I'm enjoying both the Workers' Resources and Soviet Republic, which is not really an option. Yeah, I'm going to keep doing that. KSP has not gotten a huge number of views, but it has been well liked. Like, in other words, the percentage of likes is quite high. Some of those videos get as many, I might have 200 views on the Workers and Resources, and yet get as many likes on a KSP video. And certainly percentage wise, it's very disproportionate. So at the very least, the KSP videos are going to go until I put a man on the moon. And the reason I'm asking about this is I have been playing it and I do enjoy it, and I think I would like to do a series. I'm thinking at this point that I would wait until after the KSP ended. And the KSP really isn't getting that many views, even with the added likes, that I think I would go too much past there. But I'm welcoming comments. I don't want anybody to be too upset with the direction, though I'm sure no matter what I do. So really what I'm talking about is in the somewhat near future, if I were to do this, I would actually make less Workers and Resources videos. I'm really at kind of my limit for how much I'm willing to record videos. It's fun and all. It's what I would like to do for a living, but it's not actually bringing in any money. So, that's sort of an issue. And speaking of that issue, if you've been on the fence about subscribing or not, please do, because if I can get up to 1,000, then I can actually monetize the videos and make a few bucks off of YouTube anyway. It's quite a bit of effort. And again, when I say effort, look, I'm enjoying every minute of it. It's not a huge effort, but hey, if you could get paid by YouTube, why wouldn't you, right? I'm way over the number of watch minutes that I would need, but the other criteria is that you have enough subscribers. And I'm at about 450 now, and I would need 1,000. So if you're on the fence, please do subscribe. It wouldn't hurt me. And if you don't like to be a subscriber of things, then maybe you could unsubscribe the day you see me over 1,000, right? But even if you do subscribe, it's not likely to push me over 1,000 anytime soon. So don't feel obligated in any way. Maybe in a year or so, I'll have that many subscribers. And I'm not that worried about it. In any event, let me know what you think about Hearts of Iron. If you thumb down this video, I'm going to assume you don't want to see Hearts of Iron ever. If you thumb it up, then I'm going to assume you do want to see Hearts of Iron. Either way, I think what I would do if I don't get too many comments about it is I would start this after the KSP ended. And like I said, there's a good chance that the KSP will end, by the time after we land on the moon. Right, just because it's getting like 20 some views in it. It's just, I'm not all about the views, but I want to bring people things that they want to watch. And if only 20 people are watching it, that's just not enough to really, I'd rather try something else like this and see if more people want to watch it, right? This is not about competing with PewDiePie or anything near like that, So in any event, let me know what you think. And if there's another game out there that you would like better than either one of them, let me know. It would obviously have to be something up my alley, both as a player and as a YouTuber. And this Hearts of Iron isn't a bad suggestion because it's kind of up both. It's something that I would enjoy playing, and it is something that I feel like I would be decent at doing, right? It's not a silly game. I'm not a particularly silly person necessarily. So this would fit my style. So now, if you guys have already played Hearts of Iron, you could pretty much stop watching at this moment. But just for those of you who don't know what I'm talking about with Hearts of Iron, I'd just like to show you real quick what I would plan on doing, or what the game's about, really briefly here. So you can see I have a game that I've been playing with the Soviet Union. It's not a bad starting one. But if we come over here to new game, you have a choice of like right before the war or 1936. I would probably go with 1936. It gives you your chance to sort of, gives you 3 years or so, 3 or 4 years to kind of get your country in order before World War II would start warming up. So if we selected that scenario, let's just assume for a minute we would pick Joseph Stalin, though you could pick these. Now it's a little bit weird when you have this pick a country thing here, because then you select this, right? And it brings you over to the Soviet Union, but then at that point you can pick any country that you want. Now, part of me would like to keep it in line with the workers and resources, where we would be like, I don't know, a Soviet republic like Lithuania or something. And I think there are some mods that let you do some different and unique things along those lines. But so in other words, but really my expertise level would lead towards being one of the not so difficult countries to be. Probably would be either, United Kingdom or Germany or Soviet Republic. I like the idea of the Soviet Republic because I can focus in on like land battles. I don't have to worry so much about naval or air forces. You just have a huge amount of manpower here. So let me start this real quick. So let's just say we pick this country. And I don't want to say you can pick any country in the world. Boy, that's awful loud. I think that's the loudest noise. So in any event. So here we are as the Soviet Republic. You get a bunch of little armies to start. And you have a nation here where you can select a national focus. I have it zoomed in, hopefully, so you guys can read stuff. But if you look, we have the Great Purge, and there's a bunch of stuff that's unique to Russia. All of the countries of the world don't have unique stuff here, but the big ones do. So, we would have to try to get these things going one way or the other. And you can spend a lot of time just going over all of these when you think about it. Like, well, which one should I do first? And when you don't understand the game 100%, it's like, well, wait a minute. Is it good to get this decision? Or is it that important to get these military factories? Or should I try to improve the rail first? Or, so there's quite a bit to it. There's a whole in-depth research thing here too. So you have to research each of the different types of equipment. I think one good example is we would start out with this T-26, but we wouldn't have a heavy T-35 tank. Or, I think the T-34 was a really famous one in the war. We would have to do some researching, and you have penalties if you try to research it before 1941. But maybe that's worth it to you. And there's bonuses you can get to make the research faster. And in addition to that, you have like a whole diplomacy where you can try to get certain countries to like you and other ones not. Like Mongolia is our only real true part of our faction, part of our alliance at this point. But you're a massive country, obviously, being the Soviet Union, with huge amounts of manpower. So you don't have to worry so much about your air force, but you really have to ramp up your construction. And they have a whole simple yet very well done in a certain respect economy system where you have to set up these factories in each of your towns. And, as you set up factories, you can kind of see, maybe you can see these numbers, like Moscow has 9 out of 12 factories. If I hit escape and then click on Moscow, we can see we have 7 military factories and 2 civilian factories, and we have slots for 3 more. So if we come back to there, we could go in here and say, okay, I want to maximize out. There we go. And you see the blue lines there. We're now going to produce 3 more civilian factories, which lets us build things faster, because now you have this construction screen where it's the factories that we have, which is listed up here, that are 15 of the factories are going to be adding to another factory in Moscow. So when you want to do more and more of this, you really want to ramp up your civilian economy, right? Because that lets you build things faster. But then all of a sudden you have this whole production screen where if you don't, if we're not producing enough inventory or infantry equipment, then we're not going to have enough people. And we can look at this logistics screen and see here that when it comes to this infantry equipment, we're short 1,000 infantry equipment at this point. So we're only making 36 a day, and that will actually change potentially if you upgrade your troops. So you can come in here and say, I don't want these troops to be like this. I want to add another. Now, we're not going to be allowed to because we don't have any military experience, but we could come in here and say, I want to add even more infantry to this, but it's going to cost us experience. And so I think you can get a flavor for it. And then after that, it's, you could set up orders for each, you could set armies. So if we grab these guys together, we can come down here and say, click to add a new army. And now we have an army. Then we can give that army, we can say, okay, I want you to patrol this portion of the border, right? And they'll end up going to that. Well, they're kind of already there, but you get the idea. They'll start to move, and you can give them a commander, right? So we got a whole list of different. So Zhukov, he's a pretty famous Soviet leader during the war. So now he's the leader of this, and he's got certain criteria, or not criteria, but he's got certain skills here, and you can actually develop different commanders as they get traits throughout they'll build up their own experience, and then you got to pick, what they're good at. Like you might get an option to add something to him, another ability or something like that. The game it's a really cool game. I mean, it's almost too in depth at that point. So we'll see. Anyway, well, there you go. That's enough of a flavor of it. Just so at least, if you want more, if you have more interest, definitely a game worth checking out. If you're into this kind of game at all, it's very well done, and I think there's quite a few mods and stuff out there that people have done over time. So there you go. So let me know what you guys think. I appreciate all of your support. By the way, the channel has grown more than I had anticipated, more quickly than I anticipated. So thank you everybody who participates, and even if you're just watching the videos, there's nothing wrong with that. I appreciate that as well. So like I said, let me know if you have any comments in particular about this question with the Hearts of Iron, but if you have any opinions towards other games that you might like to see me play, I welcome it, though I won't promise that I'll do anything in particular. At least I will listen, right? And then we can decide what to do from there. So there will be Saturdays, just for those of you that don't know, I tend to do a live stream. So this is Saturday morning. I'm going to put this video up. So at 2 p.m. Eastern time, which is like 1700 British time, we will be doing a live stream again today. So maybe you have an opinion, you can let me know in the live streams. Next weekend, I won't be doing a live stream. It's more or less the 4th of July weekend, Independence Day here in America. So I will be going to celebrate that with some friends and family. And I won't be doing a live stream next week. But anyway, and nothing's going to happen probably before next week. But if you guys are interested in this, then I'll start ramping up towards how I'll make the videos, right? All right. Well, let me know what you guys think. Thank you, and have a good weekend. Bye-bye.